your man, Lord Jamar went back to VLAD. He went back to VLAD, man.
There was a big thing on the internet where VLAD did an interview with D.L. Hughley, and basically he misquoted the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. He heard a portion of a speech that he gave where he used an analogy of using a rock of truth, not a physical rock, but a rock of
family?
truth.
Let's get it.
To bash one over the head with. VLAD heard the part just about the rock. Took it to heart because it was being talked about, Jewish people, and, had a conversation with DL that looked very misleading to those that saw the whole clip. Once it was brought to his attention that there was more to the clip, and I believe I may have been the one to bring it to his attention, I recommended that, something had to be remedied. So within 24 hours, VLAD edited out once it was brought to his attention that there was more to the clip, and I believe I may have been the one to bring it to his attention, I recommended that, something had to be remedied. So within 24 hours, VLAD edited out his comments in the clip where he accused the minister, and he also changed the title of the clip. But he didn't give a formal apology, which I advised him he should give.
On this is backlashing on me.
Did they give you a call?
People that were doing that?
No.
People
the public.
In general,
yeah.
The whole consensus was, yo, this nigga's disrespecting the minister.
Yeah, but y'all
you are standing with this dude.
You found out earlier than me because during COVID I was still doing some VLAD interviews, at the crib. Then I get DMs going, oh, so you gonna keep tap dancing for this motherfucker? I'm like, what the fuck? And I had just I just filmed with VLAD and I didn't know. Mm-hmm. And so and VLAD goes, yo man, are we cool? I just want to make sure that everything's cool, everything's all right. I go, what are you talking about? I was like, he's like, no.
Straight up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We called them like men on the fucking three-way. Boom. Yo, VLAD, yo, check it out. Yeah, it's me and Godfrey. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Boom, bam, boom.
Yeah.
Yo, listen, man. You know what I mean? This whole shit with the Farrakhan shit, and I feel like this is how it first was said. Like, yo, bro, you kind of need to, like, just apologize, man. You
That's
know what I
it.
mean?
He was like,
that's all
I'm
you
not
need to do.
apologizing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, he said he sent out a thing. Remember, he sent out. I sent out a little. A little sort of an apology, like a thing that I made a mistake. I said you didn't say
said,
sorry,
that
bro.
That ain't a real like.
It was bullshit.
Yeah.
It was like a company when a company is racially discriminating against you.
It's the
management.
It's the apology, not apology.
But first of all, he made Nick Cannon apologize for what he said, and Nick did it because, well, Nick had a lot to lose. I'm glad Nick did it because he hires a lot of African Americans. He goes, he's not, as soon as a black dude says something about, his folks, all of a sudden he turns into, fuck you, black dude, don't talk shit about me, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, he needs to apologize. All of a sudden the superiority thing comes in. Nick did, and then you can't do that for us. And whether you like Farrakhan or not, whether you like Al Sharpton, whatever, those are people that represent us. They're not perfect, we get it. And nobody perfect on your side.
Farrakhan is still revered
Big time.
in the black community.
Big time.
Yes.
And I don't give a fuck what your personal feelings are. You're not going to disrespect the man amongst black people.
All right, so family, I introduced the FBA News Updates for a reason. This is my time to talk because folks be like, hey, you comment too much during the video. So I inserted this right here to let you know this is my time to talk. You just can't play somebody else's content on your video free willy-nilly without getting a flag. You have to talk. That's part of the free free use. I have to give commentary after a minute, but I just want to say that. So let me let the video play.
It was freaking.
So it got to a point where we tried to give him the easy way.
Yes, we did.
And he didn't want that.
And he was like, well, yo, fuck that. He still said negative shit about Jewish people. Basically, I'm not fucking with him. And so then it was like, so then I came at him with the gangster shit. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, ain't nothing gangster about you, my boy.
As you should. I'm like, yo, bro, if you don't fucking apologize, bro, really now I said something to the effect of, now it's past the point of even asking anymore.
Yeah, right.
I said, bro, you need to apologize.
Period.
If you don't apologize, we not fucking with you no more.
Fair use, Chad.
Man, he still stood on 10 toes.
He said, well, I'm not going to be
bullied.
I'm not going to be bullied into.
Yeah. Oh, he did that. They're black aggression.
Okay, so like Chad Smith said, fair use. Okay, in order to be fair use, I have to comment after 1 minute, you dig, of me sharing original content from these guys' channels. It could be Vlad, it could be Godfrey, or even Lord Jamar. Like, to be honest, you got 1 minute and you got to comment. So I'll let it play as much as I can.
Terrorists.
Yeah, and then he said, well, I want to sit down with the minister. And everybody was like, who the fuck are you to want to sit down? We don't even get to sit down with him. So that happened, and then he stood on 10 toes, and then Lord Jamar on the phone said, you know what? Fuck it then. We gonna go our way, you go your way. And I went with him, I said, yeah. This because I thought it was the right thing to do if he's not gonna apologize.
Okay, so what you're watching right now is Godfrey giving his testimony on the situation. So Godfrey, I wouldn't call him a tether. Like, neither one of these guys are FBA. So Minister Louis Farrakhan, he's from the islands. Godfrey is from Nigeria, and Lord Jamar is from the islands. None of these guys are FBA. If you believe they're FBA, please ask for the link or the calling number and put me on. You dig? But none of these guys are FBA. All right. And I did enough research where I can prove my position.
And listen, and then from there he says, "Oh yeah, I think he's going to go back on Vlad." I said, I never said that. I'm never going black. I don't. He said he's doing some. He's talking to him now. That's just what grade are we in? What grade are you in, bro? I was like, I'm not going back on there because if I did, it would ruin everything I stood for. People be like, what the fuck? Why the fuck would I do that?
So to me.
All right, so let me just briefly say that just because you are not FBA, it does not mean you're an op or against us. Listen. Africa, Africans in Africa, FBA. Listen, I know we're mad at certain Africans, but we got love for Africa and we wish them well. Ibrahim Traoré, what he's doing, we wish he's successful. We wish him well. We don't have a problem with Africa or Africans. We have a problem with tethers in Africa that are African. We don't have a problem with the island, right? Or the West Indies or the Haitians. We have a problem because you got a lot of ride or die Africans, a lot of ride or die Haitians, a lot of ride or die West Indians. Okay, we got a problem with tethers. So guys, don't let your emotions cloud your judgment. We don't got a problem with Africans. That's all 54 states of Africa. We don't have a problem with the West Indies, right? And we don't got a problem with Haitians. We got a problem with tethers of the Haitian class, tethers of the West Indian class, tethers of the African continent class, and also Hispanics and even white folks that are tethers in their countries. We got a problem with tethers. We don't got a problem with people in general. You dig? That's not us.
Sagan, peace. He said, remember when y'all got into it with Vlad? Godfrey really didn't want to leave Vlad's platform from the get-go. He didn't. I gangstered him into it. This is how I know he's easily manipulated, because I did it to him. I did that shit to him. I painted us in the corner. He didn't want to leave Vlad like that. He was on the phone. He's talking about, well, maybe we just take a break. I said, take a break? Taking a break? We ain't taking no fucking breaks. Yo, bro, you're going to have to do this or we're not fucking with you at all. Paint in the corner. And he knew that he couldn't really go against that. He couldn't go against that because that would have made him look super foul. That would have made him look super foul.
Yeah, Lord Jamar is going back to Vlad. He's going back to Vlad, man. I'm like, wow. And he was saying that I was going to go and sell out and go back to Vlad, and he just went back to Vlad. Man, that's corny ass shit. I'm not going back. You out your mind? I don't have no beef with him. I don't have a beef with Vlad at all. I just not going back to the show because, you know, what he did was wrong. Culturally, it was just off. It wasn't cool. So I'm not going back. No, I don't have a beef with Vlad at all, but I'm not going back though.
All right, so real quick, hey Bama, Lord Jamar has never said his mother was FBA. All right, so I know, Bama, you got good intentions, but you're spewing misinformation, and don't do that. I will allow you. You have a wrench. You can produce the link where Lord Jamar says mother's FBA. So Chad is right. Lord Jamar has never said his mother was FBA. Okay, so as far as he knows, right, and we don't know more than him, as far as he knows, he's Guyanese only. He's not half and half. As far as Lord Jamar knows, he's only Guyanese. Just keep watching the video. That's all. But he's not FBA. And if he is, I will allow you guys to produce the facts, which I know does not exist.
You know, that would just be foolish. It just goes against. I mean, just too many sellouts out here. It's just too much. We got to be able to stand on principle sometimes. And this Negro is going back to him. He went back yesterday, I think, because Lord Jamar is mad and it was me and Lord Jamar. Yo, your man, Lord Jamar went back to VLAD. He went back to VLAD, man.
That part not supposed to be seen. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened with editing, but whatever. We ain't always perfect. Whatever. Just enjoy the information because I got the information. So this part is bullshit. This is supposed to be edited out, but whatever. All this right here is not supposed to happen, but whatever.
What was the question again?
YouTube is doing
I
what
got
they
twisted
do.
into. And at the end of the day,
Now I don't know what this is about right here. This is YouTube.
Man,
YouTube is
having the
skipping. That's not
capacity
me.
to
My information, this is supposed to be flow perfectly. This is YouTube skipping. This is not your brother, FBA News and Updates. This is not me at all. This is YouTube skipping. I did this live over and over again, and YouTube is skipping important scenes. That's on them. All right. Because YouTube is ran by Lear Cohen. So that's all I got to say about that. But all this right here, this is not me. This is YouTube. But Lord Jamar is not FBA. Please provide the information that he is without question. I'm here to learn.
would you be willing to have a conversation with Farrakhan?
I was always willing to have a conversation with Farrakhan. And that's, if I want to address some of the misconceptions, when I first, misquoted him. What was the question again? I lost my train of thought a little bit.
I asked you, would you be willing to sit down with
Right,
Farrakhan?
sorry. Thank you. So when this whole thing happened, the first phone call I got was from the guy I dealt with in the NOI. And the first thing he said was, hey, let's address this misquote. Do an interview with Nuri Muhammad about it. And I said, well, that doesn't make any sense because I wasn't talking about Nuri. I was talking about Farrakhan. So I'm not going to have a conversation with someone who I wasn't talking about the person I was talking about. But if he's open to it, I'm willing to have a conversation with Farrakhan about it on or off camera. I got twisted into Vlad will only apologize if he gets an interview with Farrakhan, which honestly was never said. It was never said like that. And at the end of the day, you can't take a person's whole story and say, well, I don't like this one phrase he used on this one day and throw away all the other accomplishments. That's just not fair. You look at what he's actually done for his own community, you can't deny it. And let me be clear, I would like to apologize to Minister Farrakhan for misquoting him back in 2020.
Yo, your man, Lord Jamar went back to VLAD. He went back to VLAD, man.
When the Farrakhan incident came into play, basically the sentiment is, see, we always told you about your man. Like, here he goes, doing that shit that we've been accusing him of the whole time. And I'm like, damn, Vlad, don't do that. Don't prove these motherfuckers right. You know what I mean? Don't do that. Because now it's not just the Farrakhan stuff. You got two dudes that you're saying is your friends and are business assets as well, and we're telling you, bro, apologize. Apologize. And you're like, you know, so now I know that probably, you know what I mean, made you feel like, oh, you know, well, I'm not going to be bullied now into apology, you know. And then you still was just like, I'm willing to sacrifice y'all, my association with y'all, your friendship, all of that, for whatever you felt like you were standing on at the time.
I think that's a fair description of what happened.
I think the argument comes from, because there's Tariq Nasheed. I fuck with a lot of his shit.
But he's not even from our world.
I know, but as far as just black history and foundational black America, and I'm not foundational black American because my parents Nigerian. So this is what I'm thinking, that Tariq Nasheed is just trying to claim, we need to claim our stake as far as just, I get the whole thing. It's not like I don't get it. I've read enough where I understand black people, I like that they are being hardcore about it. But then when you're shitting on the other black folks, that's when I have a problem with, because I'm But then when you're shitting on the other black thing, it's not like I don't get it. I've read enough where I understand black people. I like that they are being hardcore about it. But then when you're shitting on the other black folks, that's when I have a problem with it. But then when you're shitting on the other black folks, that's when I have a problem with it.
But you know, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like, ever since this whole, I was hearing about this whole ADOS, from the minute I heard about it, it was like a division.
Yeah.
Amongst black people.
Yeah.
It was a division. It seemed like some sort of, well, you're not American enough. Like, what's your lineage? Like,
ADOS.
You know, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like, ever since this whole, I was hearing about this whole ADOS, from the minute I heard about it, it was like a division.
Yeah.
Amongst black people.
Yeah.
It was a division. It seemed like some sort of, well, you're not American enough. Like, what's your lineage?
That's what I'm saying. How disrespectful they've been to them. Exactly.
Right, but then this is also, to
That's
me,
foul.
I see this as a divide and conquer thing. So now I'm supposed to get oh, word? That's what the Jamaicans are saying? Well, then fuck that. You know?
And on the list of tangibles, I would assume that that's where this ADOS comes in, because I'm thinking that certain people would hope that the tangibles, that the part of the tangibles would be reparations for the ADOS movement. Yes?
Yes.
Is that what I'm to believe? Now,
not just that, but definitely number one on the list.
right.
Right.
Yes. Before you add on, I just would like to say, now there's some that feel that this movement is quite divisive and just another way to divide black people. My thing is, there was a lot of suffering done by all of us at different times in America. I don't give a fuck if you got to America 5 years ago, from whatever fucking country. If you black, you're gonna go through you're gonna suffer some bullshit. Let's just say we all get $2 million, all black people that can prove it, that, they have lineage here in these North America, and they were slaves here, and they get $2 million. What the fuck do you think these motherfuckers are gonna do with that money? They just give the money right back. They just would give the money right back. Just like you get your taxes and all that tax time coming, half of these motherfuckers giving that shit right back
to the within 6 hours. Sometimes he said in the motherfucking black community. He used to be running around with like the shit would be fucking crazy, like, and all the guns and and Mercedes and blinged out.
So we know that it was against FBA, ADOS, the whole inception of it, and you see that he's against reparations for ADOS. He's against reparations for American freedmen. He's against reparations for FBA, Foundational Black American. He's against reparations exclusively for people who can tie their lineage to slavery. He's against that. That's you'll see.
Would just be fuck. They just give the money right back. They just would give the money right back. Just like you get your taxes and all that tax time coming, half of these motherfuckers giving that shit right back to the within 6 hours. Sometimes in the motherfucking black community. They used to be running around with like the shit would be fucking crazy, like, and all.
Are you Ados?
Here's the thing. On my father's side,
is he Ados? On my father's side, no.
We trace back to Guyana.
Okay. He's Guyanese.
Caribbean then.
South American, yes.
South American. So he's not even Caribbean. He's South American.
It's in South America, but it's considered Caribbean in a way.
Got it.
It's one of the
because whenever I see
South American countries.
The West Indian Day Parade, I'm pretty sure I see Guyana flags flying around.
Yeah. South America.
Right.
Just like you might see Honduras or something like but that's all in South America.
So
anyway,
Lord Jamar educates us. Guyanese
now my mother is
South
adopted,
American. They're not
so I don't
Caribbean.
know her.
Okay, so
I still got to do some research on.
Okay, so that was for the chat. So for the chat, who's saying he's half FBA and half tether? That's a lie. He's 100% non-FBA, and he's only a tether because he's against FBAs. As you hear him, he's against reparations. Okay, so he doesn't know where his mother's from. So he knows his father's from Guyana, right? So he knows his father's from Guyana. He knows. Okay, let's slow it down. He knows his father's from Guyana. He does not know where his mother's from. Okay, so knowing your father's from Guyana and not knowing where your mother's from, that does not equals FBA. That equals your non-FBA. You dig? Figure out your mother and holler back.
You know what I mean? I actually discovered one side of her father. Now I got to trace where his family's from, but I did the trace on my father's side. So on that side, no, I'm not Ados. It's possible I'm on my mother's side.
Okay, so you see, he's saying his father's side, he knows for a fact that he's not FBA. He's saying his mother's side, that's in question. Okay, so brother, figure that shit out, because not knowing does not equal your FBA. Not knowing means you're not due any reparational benefit. So because anybody, all of us, we need to source up and prove we're FBA, or you're not getting a check. You're not getting tangibles, you're not getting equity and whatever else that comes with reparations. Not just cash, but we want land and some other shit. And if you don't know and you can't prove it, then you're going to be on hold like this guy. So Apostle West, I put the phone number in there, brother. Just call in once the video's over. Let's have a dialogue. I'm very positive. I'm very friendly. You dig? I'm not those folks who argue and try to embarrass you. I have a real love conversation with you. As long as you're respectful, I will return that.
I am. But see, again,
Gemini,
that's some bullshit.
And Aaron,
but
also
anyway,
same for you.
Who here in America are direct descendants of the slavery,
see,
and
so
I'm assuming
that
happened here on this land in America, and they're probably not even thinking about South America or anything like that. But let's just say they're isolating it to just here in just America. Well, now immediately they've isolated the South Americans.
Okay, so the first question was he for reparations for foundational Black Americans, American descendants of slaves, freedmen, American freedmen? The answer was clearly no. He was not supportive. He was not supportive of that. He even agreed with VLAD that it should not happen. So now the question is Jamar FBA? Okay, because Jamar won't admit that out of his mouth, even though he gives clues that he's not. So the question now is he FBA? So I don't know if you guys know, but he and Tariq Nasheed had a conversation about FBAs and tethers and non-FBAs, and let's see how that works out for him. Aaron, Apostle, and whoever else, just call. I put the phone number there. Just call and have a brotherly conversation with your boy, Unbiased Ron. That's me. Okay. My channel is FBA News and Updates. This is an update.
What's this whole ADOS movement?
Lovejoy.
And how is
hit the like
this,
button, definitely. You guys have not been liking the videos lately.
How is that not something that's
how my video goes to other folks' live feeds, get new folks here. You gotta hit the like button. If you're a supporter, you rock what I'm doing, hit the like button. If you're a hater, I don't expect you to.
In this country, like how do we decide who's who?
Now, foundational Black Americans, because over here in the North American continent,
this is Tariq and Lord Jamar talking back and forth.
We are the founders of the United States. There was no United States until foundational Black Americans built it. So we are acknowledging our own designation. So that's not divisive because other groups do this.
And I just feel like we need to come together as Black people. You know what I mean? As much as
we need more
possible.
likes for sure.
And it just feels
like peace, Ricardo.
That type of thought, and I understand where you're coming from with it, but it feels like that type of thought helps to
don't say divide. Divide. Don't say divide.
Together.
Okay, this is the problem, Lord Jamar. That division is caused by non-FBA. Foundational Black Americans, we have been the only people fighting for everybody.
Thank you for liking the
First
video.
of all,
There's
a lot of there's a lot of divide and conquer with this. There's a lot.
He keeps saying divide. That's
bullshit that goes into this talk of reparations.
FBAs don't talk like that unless you're a Black conservative.
Who gets it? And
both of my parents. On both sides of the family, we can trace everything back to plantations in Alabama and North Carolina. So my family, 100% foundational Black Americans. Nobody in my family immigrated.
How many people can do that, though? Do you think?
We can. We can do that. Most of us can.
How many that are claiming to be can really do that? Keep it real.
You can trace your family lineage at least back to 1870. You can trace your family back to the 1870 census. If you know your mama and you know your daddy, their name has been documented somewhere. You know where to trace them.
Right, so a lot of them had just first names, though. You know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you, I physically, this is not no easy shit to do these traces. Like, I physically have been through this shit. Like, I've seen it. Like, I went down that rabbit hole for a second. And when you get to all of that slavery type of shit, like, the records are not what you think.
There's outliers to it, but generally, it's pretty easy to trace your lineage back to slavery, to a plantation. Or it's easy to trace your lineage back to at least the 1870 census. The average person who can trace their lineage back to 1870, 9 times out of 10, you came from a slave plantation because they'll list you as a farm worker or domestic or something like that. So that means you came most likely from a slave plantation. And that's a little bit different from somebody who immigrated over because you wouldn't be eligible for a reparations claim. We can't open up that door, and this is for several reasons. If we start letting African and Caribbean brothers start getting reparations based on the Jim Crow treatment, then what's going to happen? The damn white Hispanics are going to start saying, okay, well, damn it, I was mistreated too. And then it's going to undermine the reparations claim. We respect CARICOM. Over in the Caribbean, they have a reparations movement. You can trace your family lineage at least back to 1870. You can trace your family back to the 1870 census. If you know your mama and you know your daddy, their name has been documented somewhere. You know where to trace them.
Right, so a lot of them had just first names, though. You know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you, I physically... This is not no easy shit to do these traces. Like, I physically have been through this shit. Like, I've seen it. Like, I went down that rabbit hole for a second. And when you get to all of that slavery type of shit, like, the records are not what you...
Both of my parents On both sides of the family, we can trace everything back to plantations in Alabama and North Carolina. So my family, 100% foundational Black Americans. Nobody in my family immigrated.
How many people can do that, though? Do you think?
We can. We can do that. Most of us can.
How many that are claiming to be can really do that? Keep it real.
You can trace your family lineage at least back to 1870. You can trace your family back to the 1870 census. If you know your mama and you know your daddy, their name has been documented somewhere. You know where to trace them.
Right.
So
a lot of them had just first names, though. You know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you, I physically, this is not no easy shit to do.
Okay, so family, the reason why he's saying it's not easy, yes, he's correct. It's not easy if you're a $5 foundation Black American. Okay? If you're a $5 foundational Black American, yes, tracing your lineage to a plantation or to the 1870s census is almost impossible. He's correct. Okay? But if you are indeed FBA, ADOS, American Freedmen, it is very easy. It's not difficult. My name is Unbiased Ron. This is my channel, FBA News Updates. I can easily trace my family to 1865 effortlessly. Okay? So for somebody who's not Foundation Black American, ADOS, yes, it will be nearly impossible. But if you are indeed a Foundation Black American or ADOS, same thing. Foundation Black American, ADOS. If you are that, it's very easy for you to trace your lineage back to at least the 1870 census and maybe even further, like some of us can do. But he's not getting that. It's like, dude, you can't trace it back because you're not us. That's why it's so hard for you, my boy. Your buck stops at 1910, 1920, 1930, Ellis Island. You stop at Ellis Island, my boy.
These traces, like I physically have been through this shit. Like I've seen it. Like I went down that rabbit hole for a second. And when you get to all that slave,
there are outliers
shit to it.
There's outliers to it, but generally, it's pretty easy to trace your lineage back to slavery, to a plantation, or it's easy to trace your lineage back to at least the 1870 census. The average person who can trace their lineage back to 1870, 9 times out of 10, you came from a slave plantation because they'll list you as a farm worker or domestic or something like that. So that means you came most likely from a slave plantation. And that's a little bit different from somebody who immigrated over because you wouldn't be eligible for a reparations claim.
It's my great-grandfather on my father's side that wasn't born here.
Family, listen to his receipt.
It's my great-grandfather on my father's side that wasn't born here.
Great-grandfather.
How does one know?
Father's side. How do one know?
Foundational American.
Okay, so now these questions, family, listen to me. I'm not going to deceive you. I'm not going to misdirect you. I'm telling you, this dude's not FBA. The questions and the position he's in. Now, there are some FBAs who have been adopted, right? They don't know who their mother is, who their father is. They've been adopted by a total separate, different person. Those folks got more to say, right? And we could sympathize and empathize with them. But Lord Jamar is not one of them. Okay, so an orphan, we got to empathize. We're not giving a check, but we can feel where they're coming from. Lord Jamar, the fact that his father came from Jamaica or Guyana to America, we know that we got one parent that's non-FBA for sure. He doesn't know where his mother's from, which we don't believe. And you see Turkey Nasheed is pressing him. It's like, yo, wait a minute. Did you live with your mom? Yes. So you never asked your mom where she from? And you dig? Like, yo, that don't make any sense. Like, so when your mom was she cooking baked mac, ham, hog, you dig? Chitlins and fried chicken and fish? Or she cooking jerk chicken and goddamn oxtails? Like, dude, it's not that difficult, man. Like, what the fuck was your mom cooking? Excuse my French, but this is getting annoying. Like, dude, what was your mom cooking, my boy? We can settle this right now. But he's being invasive on purpose. And we know he's a tether.
a few years back, did a like an ancestral so I had just did on my father's side, right?
Your father's side, right? Sure.
But in doing all of this, and I'm going to tell you, it traced back to Guyana, right?
Of course it did,
right?
Nigga, you.
So I had just
I
did
mean,
on
you
my
Guyanese.
father's side, right? And I'm going to tell you, it traced back to Guyana.
Shout out to Guyana. You dig? No
We can trace
disrespect.
back.
My family suffered from redlining and all that type
I'm
of
sure
shit.
they did.
I know how you feel about like Jamaicans that come here.
Nah, it's not
right
about
now,
Jamaicans.
this
It's not about
generation,
Nigerians.
and they're
It's
able to
about
get
black
loans. My
foreigners.
family
I'm
didn't
sure
go
y'all
through that.
suffered. We suffered.
My family didn't get all that when they came here.
Integration.
We
I'm sure you
lived
did.
as regular black
You're not
people.
due reparations.
So
save it.
Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that. That would not, if they came over and they immigrated, because your family came from immigrants. They immigrated over here, and you can trace
Ellis
that.
Island.
Because your family came from immigrants. They immigrated over here, and you can trace
Ellis
that.
Island.
Right.
I know the boat.
That's very different.
So he knows the boat. Hey, peace to Music Depot. I just gave you a wrench, my boy. I can't tag you because you got the little music symbol there, but I did give you a wrench. So you're free to say what you got to say. But like Lord Jamar he's in denial. See, Godfrey knows he's not FBA. And bro, listen, you're not less or more if you're from Nigeria, Ghana, Sudan, you dig? Guyana, Jamaica. You're not less Haitian. You're not less or more. You dig?
Because you can't
Just be proud of where you're from, and we will rock with you as long as you rock with us. You dig? We don't rock with folks who are disrespectful and undermining what we got going on. It's real simple. If you're disrespectful or if you undermine what we got going on, you're a tether. If you don't, you family. It's real simple, man. It's not that difficult.
Get a reparations claim like that.
Because you can't get a reparations claim.
You're not getting reparations,
like
Lord
that.
Jamar.
And it's
Sorry.
very important to not mix it up.
But now keep in mind, this is just my father's side.
I know, but you don't know your mother's side, so you're not.
You all have
FBA.
two sides now. My mother's side, I ain't traced that yet.
Now, my mother's
Well, go trace
side,
that
I
then.
ain't traced that yet.
Y'all would know who the southern side of her family was. So if y'all don't know, that
Good
means she's from the Caribbean.
Right.
Because I can understand that you don't know your dad. That's one thing. And your mom didn't tell you where your grandmother was from? Your mom didn't say shit? She had to come from somewhere. Either immigrated from another country or came from the South. If she's black, right?
Right. Let's just stop, bro. If you're black, you came from the South, period. Now, there's a small percentage of FBA, ADOS, American Freedmen Northerners who never went to the South. But that's a small, tiny percentage. But you will be able to prove that, though, easily. All right. So, Music Depot, peace, my brother. Welcome. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like the video, bro. You're welcome to the family. And here we go. I got some more stuff coming up.
It's just fine.
So this is original content here. I got some more stuff gonna be original, but I'm gonna do my reactions as well. So I do original content, and I also do reactions. You dig?
Find out where your parents are from and where your grandparents are from. Your grandmother, if you knew your grandmother has a birth certificate.
Exactly.
Brother. Look at the birth
It ain't that
certificate and see where
difficult,
she was born.
It ain't that difficult.
And then see what her mother and
420.
father's name was. It's on the birth certificate. And then see where they were born. You trace
Everybody
it
like
back
the video.
like
The
that.
lights got to
You
get
can
up,
go all
please.
the way back to the
We're trying to reach our
1870
FBA
census.
family and
That
supporters.
make you a foundational black American. All you got to do is just trace the parents back. Okay, some of these folks, you don't know where your mama's really from. Okay, like my mom's from New York. We kind of lost, and then, okay. But folks, okay. I don't know how y'all don't be knowing where your mama from. And you don't know your mama's side of the family? At
Right.
least I can
They
understand
do,
the
stop.
dad's side might
Right,
be a
right.
little sketchy.
Because
You
we
don't
got
know
single
your
parent
mama's side
homes.
of the
Mother
family?
ran. Your
See,
mom, I do stop.
that raises red flags.
100% red
That
flag.
raises a lot of red flags when folks don't be knowing what their mama's side of the family is. Yeah, okay. That's weird.
100%.
And I feel like they want us to spend our energy
Facts,
on
Chad
this
Smith.
conversation when we really need to be focusing our energy on more practical things.
more practical things. What are you talking about? Hey, let the minister talk.
We have to press the government for reparations.
You dig?
Come on, Farrakhan, that's a pipe dream. Well, damn, you better put it in your pipe then.
You smoke it.
You better start smoking what this is.
Right. Reparations,
that
baby.
mess that you talking ain't making no damn sense.
No sense at all.
You gonna wait around here another 100 years so they can bamboozle you
No,
some
sir.
more?
No, we not.
We need land.
We need land, equity. Yes, we do. Not just cash, haters.
So reparation gotta be on the agenda.
It better be.
We need land.
We need
Mr.
land.
President.
100%.
You got all this Federal Reserve land. What you reserving it for? Yeah, we need cash.
Yep.
Yeah, print some more.
Mr. Farrakhan is definitely a supporter. He's not FBA. He's I think Guyanese or Barbados. He's from Barbados.
Force him to tell you, nigga, I ain't
But
giving
he's
you
family.
nothing.
Force him to say I ain't giving you
If
nothing.
you put it on the table strong enough, he'll come out of his bag.
Right. Come out of his bag. Come out that pocket, baby. Put that money.
Be together. This ain't no damn unity party with punks. This ain't no unity party with people who don't want the true liberation of black people.
Right. So Mr. Louis Farrakhan was delineating before any of us, Rita Peter or Claude or Yvette. Mr. Louis Farrakhan was delineating in the 80s and 90s.
This ain't that kind of party. So you take your raggedy ass on home.
Right.
But those who want liberation. Those who want to see black people really free at last.
Yeah, Vlad is smart.
You walk away
I'm not
from
hating on
these
Vlad. I'm
punctified
not hating on
Negroes.
Vlad. I already
Unless
know
you
what to
unite
expect.
the like-minded of us. If we are
Listen to the
like-minded
minister.
on reparations and on justice for our people, we are brothers indeed. But a black face ain't gonna make you no brother today. Go ahead. We tired of these black-face, white-hearted. Go ahead. Say
You heard that? Minister Louis Farrakhan said, a black face does not make you family. He said, we're tired of these black faces that are white-hearted, okay? And that's what a tether is, okay? A tether is a black face that is white-hearted. A coon, a C-O-O-N, is a black face white-hearted. So I'm going to run that back with Minister real fast so you can hear that. You catch that.
But a black face ain't gonna make you no brother today. Go ahead. We tired of these black-faced, white-hearted. Go ahead. Say that. Masquerading as though you're pretty seen you. Say that. Masquerading as though you're pretty seen you.
Let me say that again. I am not black.
Listen to this Nigerian
Hear
tether.
me out.
She's not black.
Growing up, my mom absolutely hated when we refer to ourselves as black.
Disrespect.
She's like, you're not black, you're Nigerian, you're African. I feel like the term someone is black obviously comes from the slave era.
Black as midnight talking shit.
Just describes displaced people that don't know their heritage. So I feel like people that do know their heritage, to try and curb racism in some way, people are going to be racist. Ignorance is ignorance. You can't. But just curb racism in a small way. Stop referring to yourself as black. You know, if you know where you're from, you're raised in a certain household. You know, Somalians are Somalians, Ethiopians are Ethiopians, Nigerians are Nigerians. Like, if you know where you're from, why refer to yourself as a color? I feel like when we say black, it just sounds so harsh and like, this is black. I'm brown. You know, I'm Nigerian at the end of the day. Like, that's who I am. That's where I come from. So I understand when you say black British or black American, because you don't know where you're from. You're just a person of color in the city that you're in. Obviously, you still be treated the way you're treated, but just like, I feel like it just, when I hear someone refer to me as black, it just sounds so harsh, especially coming from a certain demographic.
Yeah, Gemini.
I think if you have the privilege of knowing where you're from, you shouldn't refer to yourself as a color, because it further, pushes the racism narrative and
the way how African Americans prioritize blackness isn't necessarily the same way in which an immigrant would prioritize their blackness. So you know how African Americans will say, oh, black writer, black creator, black artist, black lawyer, black doctor, black woman in STEM. No, when we come to this country, it's immigrant or nationality. Maybe our careers next, and then whatever else comes after that. So immigrant, Jamaican, marketer, whatever else comes after that. The issue that you're having is we don't see ourselves as one of you. Some of us that come to this country don't even have a legal right to be here. You get me? So while you are fighting your fight, which is that of blackness, we are fighting our fight as immigrants first.
3 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes. Okay, so family, that is the end of the video. Masquerading, we see you. So even Mr. Farrakhan, who's not FBA, but he's definitely a writer for the lineage, a supporter, he said, we see you, you masqueraders. Okay. So we say cosplaying, he says masqueraders is all the same message. You dig? We see you. That's the bottom line. We see you. We see you in the chat. We see your videos. Y'all want to tune in? I'm gonna speak to that black conservative again Saturday. Sometime Saturday. Make sure you subscribe, check in. Make sure you like the video, because I'm telling you right now, like, to make these videos I just did right here, this video took days to make, okay? And to produce it took 3 hours. So it took days to make and 3 hours to produce. If I feel like I'm not getting the love, because I put in love to make these videos. If I'm not getting the love to produce it, I'm definitely going to do, you know what I mean? I'm gonna focus my attention somewhere else, because you dig, I am a chess teacher. I do play chess, and I do go live on Twitch doing chess. You dig, and I get way more support playing a game. So if my own lineage can't support what I'm doing, then I'm just going to you dig, go where the support is at. So a lot of people are supporting the chess Twitch videos, but I'd rather do this, but I want to be respected for my time and energy. I got a 3-year-old. You dig? So if the love ain't reciprocal, I'm gonna go where the love is at. That's period, right? Because we talk about this lineage talk, but if our lineage ain't supporting us, you forcing us to go other places for the support. That is a fact. I'm just being transparent with you guys. But yeah, man. It is what it is. You can easily just like the button. You just press like. That doesn't take much effort. Just press like. And if people can do more, there's a Cash App pin to the top. You can click the Cash App button, and that's $1, $2, $5, $10, whatever. It's all appreciative. It's gonna help out. Coffee, whatever I got going on. You dig? Okay, I'm just blocking the sun so I can see the screen. Yeah, so I appreciate my family. I love my lineage, but we got to show support, because a lot of our support is going to non-FBAs, is going towards Vlad, the Adam, these folks who are not FBA, clearly. Vlad, Godfrey, Lord Jamar, like DJ Academics, you dig? Our support is going everywhere but FBA. You dig? Like, we should be the most popping channels, especially talking about black issues in America. I don't know why we still giving our time, energy, and money towards non-FBAs. That's still a puzzle for me. You dig? I can't figure that out. But bills got to be paid. You dig? Got to take care of myself, and it is what it is. All right. So Music says Vlad told him, well, you ain't getting a dime. Yeah, he asked for 30%. Vlad said, fuck you. He said, but you'll get money here on out. But anything you contributed to before, you're not getting 1 penny. Vlad stood on business. Lord Jamar cowered out. I definitely seen that part. Maneuver says, if you have chess time, Marxisms, Chad Smith says, "How do I find you on Twitch? Send me an email." Yo, what is my Twitch? I don't. Don't get me lying. Let me see my Twitch right now. Hold on. I don't even know my Twitch. You dig? Okay, I know it. Okay, I know it now. So let me put it in the chat. So I'm gonna give you my Twitch channel, right? Because I'll be playing chess on Twitch for like 30 minutes, an hour, just having fun talking shit. But if the bag is over here, I'm gonna stay over there. There's no reason why FBA support everybody but FBAs. So I put the Twitch there, right there. My Twitch feed is right there. I do chess there. I might talk about some shit like this over there. You dig? It's easier. I don't gotta produce videos like to make this FBA News and Updates channel possible. Listen, family, it's time conservative. It costs money. I gotta pay for Adobe. I gotta pay for photo editing, video editing. I gotta pay for Chat GPT for research. This shit costs money, man. I'm losing, especially my family not really compensating me for that, or I'm not even getting the views and likes. You dig? At some point, I'm a businessman. At some point, if it doesn't make sense, you dig, it ain't business. Got to drop it. You know, in business, they say cut your losses quickly. So, you know, if I see it as a loss, I'm sorry. I got to go to Twitch and go with simple, bullshit that folks gonna support. That's, you got the Kai Sense of the world who makes millions of dollars doing bullshit. You got the other speed guy, the fast guy, millions of dollars of doing bullshit. I'm doing something. I'm defending Black culture. Look, let me show you something. Okay.
Is the belief that crime and
okay, let me show you what I'm defending. Right. Yeah, there are laws being made because of bullshit people believe about us. Okay, so let me give you something real fast. All right, let me give an example. This is Thomas Sowell channel. This is a dangerous channel. This dude is a economist, right? That got fake stats, that talk shit about us all day long, passing laws. Listen to this bullshit right here. This is Thomas Sowell. Look what I'm against.
one of the most dangerous misconceptions in modern America is the belief that crime in Black neighborhoods is some kind of inevitable consequence of poverty or systemic racism. That belief is not only historically false, it is deadly.
So Thomas Sowell is giving a counter argument. He's saying, nah, poverty, systemic racism, and things like that, the obvious stuff, is not the reason why you have Black crime. Like, Black folks are just degenerates. Like, that's pretty much his conclusion. Larry Elder, Candace Owens, same shit, man. Listen.
Ideas have consequences, and bad ideas have victims. The fact is, crime was far lower in Black communities during the 1940s and 1950s.
So that's a lie. Okay, when he talks about the 19, so where he's trying to make you believe, when these folks say 1940s and 1950s, because this is their argument. Their argument is that under Jim Crow, under extreme blatant racism, Black folks were just doing so much better. But once we integrated, once the Civil Rights Act was passed, where Jim Crow and racism, outright blatant racism, was abolished, illegal, he's saying once racism was illegal, abolished, we went backwards. So he's making an argument that's old, around the mid 1800s, during a time frame that's called scientific racism. Okay, scientific racism was an argument from the Confederates, the South, to show how Black folks need to be enslaved because we are degenerates inherently, genetically. Nothing, no education, no rehabilitation centers, nothing can get us out of our nature, which is below white people, right? Degeneracy. So Thomas Sowell, Larry Elder, a lot of Black conservatives repeat the same dangerous rhetoric that justifies locking us up. So Initially, right, you had chattel slavery, you had plantation slavery, and then from there you had slavery after slavery, which was the peonage system, right, locking us up for vagrancy and bullshit, trumped up charges that created the peonage system, sharecropping, going into the mines, going to the steel mills, going into convict leasing, right, and then you had that happened all the way until the Civil Rights Act. So once the Civil Rights Act was passed, that made convict leasing, the peonage system, and those ways of locking us up illegal. So what they did was they said, okay, well, we're going to do something else. We're going to do mass incarceration, right? That was 70s, 80s. And then they got clever and said, all right, well, we're going to wage a war on drugs. And that war on drugs was disproportionately affecting FBAs more than anybody else in America. So what I just gave you a timeline that this country has a need to lock us up, either chattel slavery or either Jim Crow system or post Jim Crow, which is mass incarceration, right? The war on drugs, BS. But this country needs to have us behind bars and without rights. So slavery, you had no rights. Jim Crow, you had no rights. And if you are a prisoner, you have no rights. So this country is hell bound to stripping us of our constitutional rights. All right. You get it? You get it? You see it? You see it no matter what phase we're in America. Black FBAs and black people in general, not just FBAs, black people, we have to be behind bars. Far more, exponentially more than anybody, any other race who are non-black. So don't matter if you're from the islands, you FBA, or you from the continent. The goal is to have dark-faced people behind bars. Chattel slavery, Jim Crow, mass incarceration. That's the goal, to put us behind bars. All right. So you got to see that. You got to see that. It shouldn't be hard. So now Thomas Sowell, he's black, he's FBA. Larry Elder, he's FBA. Candace Owens, even though she's mixed, she's still FBA. She's also Caribbean. All right. But they're using these folks to justify mistreatment. Because they're saying, hey, look at Thomas Sowell facts and stats. Listen to Thomas Sowell justify. He just said we're in poverty. And he said poverty crimes are not exclusive to poverty. He's saying some things are just inherent. Like these black folks are just criminal minded. Listen.
A time when poverty was greater and overt racial discrimination was codified in law. Today we have more rights, more programs.
Okay, so he's making an argument for the South, the Confederate South, saying, hey, as long as we are Jim Crowed, as long as we are put in check by white supremacists, our crime rates are low. Okay, but we're left to be free, to have liberty, to exercise democracy. His argument, Thomas Sowell's argument, is that we are going to be criminal. So this is a wink, wink to white America. Like, yo, you have to confine these guys. You have to subject these guys. You have to marginalize these guys. You got to give them unfair, unequal treatment. Otherwise, they're just going to be criminals, as what he's displaying right now. Listen.
More spending, and more crime. The real question is not what has been done for these communities, but what has been done to them. So let us dispense with comforting lies and confront 5 uncomfortable truths. These are not slogans, these are steps. Steps that, if taken seriously, could turn back the tide of destruction and bring order to chaos.
Okay, so that's what he's about. Okay, so he's literally doing, and he's not a tether, he's not a foreigner black, he's FBA. He's literally doing the bidding of white supremacy, and we call these folks coons. We call tethers, we call black foreigners who do that tethers. All right, so this is dangerous. This is dangerous. Now I'm out here debunking this. Nobody else is debunking Larry Elder, Thomas Sowell, and Candace Owens. Nobody's doing that but me. Unbiased Ron, FBA News and Updates. I'm doing this solely You dig? And I'm not getting the support I need to do this. So it's like it's like folks don't care. So let me go back to my daily activities, right? Let me stop sacrificing and do what I do. Okay. So let me read some cash apps. So let me put the chat in there. My son is yelling. What the hell is he yelling for? So here you go. I put it in there again. So Gemini says on my channel page at least, why don't you incorporate the chess with the FBA talk? Now I'm gonna do that with chess. But I'm new to Twitch, so I'm just trying to fill it out. I don't go live as often as I should, but I am trying to make it part of what I do. So I will do that. Somebody gave me advice to do that. So maybe I regurgitate what I just said during that Twitch thing. They said you should do that. Look at Tariq and Jason Black. They had to grind for 10 years before they pop. Yeah, that's sad, Chad Smith. That's sad because Jason Black and Professor Truth, they are reaping the benefits. But yeah, they grinded so long. That's sad, man. That's sad. And like they should have Aiden Ross views right now. They should have Kai Cent views right now. You dig? They should have 200,000. They should have Charleston White views right now. That's sad that, they're doing good. But for the time they put in and they're defending us, they should be at 200,000, 500,000 per view. That's sad, man. You dig? That shows me my future. It's like, my future is dim as hell in this lane. Kai's been on the internet for years. It don't happen overnight. No, Gemini. No. Don't give me that because Kai has reached levels that the average black man will never reach. When I say black man, I'm talking about globally. So no, you're not going to use Kai to say he had to grind. No. The average black man is not in Kai. There's what other black man's in Kai position? You dig? Nobody. You got destroying destroying that does football. You got another black guy, I can't think of his name, but 3 out of 43. Well, they're not even FBA, by the way. I don't know if D destroying the FBA. He might be. He looks like it. But my point is, like, they don't reflect the masses. Okay, so you guys are new here. I can see it, and you're not on when I go over brain drain, brain gain, and brain waste. I could tell you guys are unfamiliar when I uncover what brain drain is, what brain gain is. But let me just tell you, Kai, as a black man in America, he represents the top 2%. So you can't compare us. You would get cooked on my channel doing that. That's what tethers do. That's what white supremacists do. They compare a top 5% to the masses. You don't do that. So you don't compare a Kai Cent, D destroying, or another black guy that's like getting ridiculous views. What's that fast guy name that's getting ridiculous views on the net? You don't compare them to the average black man, FBA or non. You don't do that. That's disingenuous. Like you compare the average black man to the average black man. You compare the Kai elites to the Kai elites. You dig? That's how that's done, or you're gonna find yourself getting cooked on a platform like mine. But let me go ahead. Yeah, I know Kai is not FBA. I know that. But anyway, I'm going to do reactions, right? So after this, because like I said, when I do original content like this, it takes a lot of effort. And I like to be compensated with views. You don't even got to hit the cash app. Just views and likes will make me feel like, 36 hours of research and time and energy putting a video together is worth it. But it's more easier to do a reaction video. I don't gotta do shit. I just play my own content and I just talk over it. And maybe I start doing that more often. Cause I seem to be more what people want and not, real thorough, unique, distinct research. But that's my Twitch. I'm gonna try to get the chest popping. I'm gonna see, it's at that point it's gonna be business. Like which one outweighs the other. I'm gonna stick with that. It's real easy for me to like make that discernment. All right, family, but don't know what Kai had to do with blow up like he did. And Kai's Nigerian. I think the man probably so his bussy. Now I'm sure he did, but it seems like if you're non-FBA, whether you're black, white, Hispanic, or something else, it seems like it seems like it's easier for them to get FBA attention. So listen to me again. Whether you're Kai or a Jamaican, like academics, or Aiden Ross, or Trap Lord Ross, you dig? It seems like when you're a non-FBA, it seems like FBAs will blow you up and make you rich beyond belief if you're non-FBA. But if you're FBA, it seems like we don't want to elevate our own stock to be successful beyond belief. That's what it is. What it is, man. That's the reality. That's the reality. I just said Aiden Ross. I just said Trap Lil Ross, and I said academics, and I said Kai Cent. Most of their audience are FBAs, and FBAs got them super rich. But if you are FBA and you do similar content, you dig, the energy is not there. I don't know what that is, but it is what it is. I'm out of here, family. Like the video, the Cash App is there.